The Maharlika Investment Fund is one step closer to being passed into law as the House of Representatives adopts the Senate version of the MIF bill. President Bongbong Marcos assures the public that no pension funds will be used for the MIF. And the MWSS is planning to impose stricter penalties against water concessionaires over water service interruptions. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Sean Yao. The House of Representatives has adopted the Senate's version of the controversial Maharlika Investment Fund bill. Among the major amendments introduced to the measure was the absolute prohibition of state pension and insurance funds from investing in the MIF. These include funds managed by the GSIS and the SSS. The seed money from Maharlika or for Maharlika will instead be coming from the Land Bank, the Development Bank of the Philippines, the Bangko Sentral, and PAGCOR. Aside from this, the bill also prohibits the appointment of Maharlika Investment Corporation members with pending judicial and administrative cases. These include cases related to fraud, plunder, corrupt practices, money laundering, tax evasion, or any similar crimes involving misuse of money or breach of trust. Both chambers will ratify the measure today before sending the measure to the Office of the President for his signature. And the principal author of the Maharlika Investment Fund in the Senate belies claims that the MIF is a political measure. Senator Mark Villar says the concept of having an investment fund is nothing new. China, Norway, and the United Arab Emirates are among the countries that have the largest sovereign wealth funds in the world. Villar added that this will help the country gain extra income. Citing NEDA's analysis, he claims that 350,000 jobs will be generated as a result of investments in the MIF. Villar added that the implementation phase of the Maharlika Fund bill will begin after the measure is passed. And President Bongbong Marcos assures the public that the government has no intention of using state pension funds as seed money for the Maharlika Investment Fund. But the president did clarify that the state-run pension funds can decide to invest in the MIF given their own discretion. GSIS President and General Manager Wick Veloso had earlier said that discussions were made to ensure that pension funds will not be used to start up the MIF.
We have no intention of using the pera, kukuha tayo ng pera ng pension fund. We will not use it as a seed fund. However, if a pension fund, which is what pension funds do, is they invest. If the pension fund decides that the Maharlika Fund is a good investment, it's up to them if they want to invest in it.
We're bringing you more stories after this quick break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Sean Yao. The government is cracking down on Maynilad and Manila Water over water service interruptions. Shyla Francisco with the details.
The Metropolitan Water Works and Sewerage System is asking Maynila to explain its water service interruption that started December last year. This as some parts of Las Piñas, Muntinlupa, Parañaque, Pasay and Cavite still have no water supply due to leak repair in its Putatan water treatment plant. The interruption comes even after MWSS slapped Maynilad with a 27 million peso fine in January because of the same issue.
Ngayon po ay ini-investigate po natin at pinag-aaralan natin kung lumampas na po yung 6 months na hindi po nila naayos. Pag hindi pa po nila maayos ay pwede po natin i-doble po yung penalty. At ito po ay may rebate sa ating mga consumers.
To prevent similar incidents, the regulator is set to impose stricter penalties if Maynilad and Manila Water fail to comply with its service obligations. For 1 instead of 15 days, water concessionaires will now be given 3 days to implement water interruptions and fix water quality concerns. If not met within the given period, the MWSS may impose financial penalties on the companies to be given as rebates to affected customers.
Kasi dati po masyadong lax, mas maliit lang yung penalty. Ngayon po ay lalaki na yung penalty at tuloy-tuloy na po ito. At it's going to be per day. Ginawa po natin ito para maprotektahan ang interest ng ating mga consumers dahil po naagrabyado po talaga sila at hindi po sapat ang nakukuha nilang penalties.
MWSS, however, clarifies that lower allocation from Angat Dam and other force majeure reasons will exempt concessionaires from penalties. Both Maynilad and Manila Water welcome the development. They are now coordinating with the agency to fine-tune the regulations. Meanwhile, the MWSS is set to present these proposals in a public consultation next week, which are targeted to be implemented by June. Shyla Francisco, VR One News.
And the Bangko Sentral ng Pilipinas says that they might hold off on further interest rate hikes as inflation is expected to have cooled in May. The BSP sees the May print to settle somewhere between 5.8 to 6.8% or 6.6% range on the back of cheaper oil, poultry, and fish. This is despite the higher costs of power, rice, vegetables, LPG, and other consumable items, which caused price pressures last month. If May's inflation rate clocks in close to the lower end of its forecast range, the BSP says it will have room to hit the pause button on further interest rate hikes. Tito, Vic, and Joey are bidding Tape Incorporated farewell. Tape is the production company behind Eat Bulaga. In Wednesday's episode, Tito Soto thanked former Tape president Tony Toviera, whom he considers as family. Joey De Leon took a look back at their Eat Bulaga journey and expressed gratitude for all the networks that they have been part of. For his part, Vic Soto thanked TVJ's supporters. Eat Bulaga is the country's longest-running noontime variety show, which has been on air since July 30 of 1979. One News Now will be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. I'm Sean Yao. We are One News. All sides, all the time.